It is April 22nd, 2025. I just saw a bumper sticker that said, grow your own dope. Grow your own dope. Plant a politician. A little slow sometimes, but then I got it. Kind of funny. Not too funny. There's a police officer. There's that sheriff that was sitting down the road, and he's probably not there now. So I can go fast. No, I don't want to do that. Gotta roll in the digibug. Slow and steady, baby. That's what it's all about. On the road again today. Crazy. What is happening 2 days in a row? No, I had to drop off Mitch and a few towns over. Had to get his truck picked up, of course, newer truck, and the freaking, whatever you call it, the OnStar module goes out. It's like, really? Back ordered, of course, coming from somewhere far away, because we don't make anything here. I guess that's what the tariffs are about, right? So, the gold thing, gold hit $3,500 an ounce overnight. Dropped down a little bit. We'll see what happens with that. The reason why that's happening is because gold's getting stronger, right? No, it's because the dollar is getting weaker. If you look at the dollar, it's at a 3-year low, on the exchanges, the Forex, foreign exchanges. But yeah, 3-year low. I should turn this air on so I don't have to put that. I don't need the air on, but turn it on for your benefit. But yeah, that's the whole reason why these commodities like gold, and then you see Bitcoin catching a bid today over $90,000. I mean, the whole reason for that is because of the dollar weakening. You need more dollars to buy real stuff. And so that's why it's going up. So it's not the price of the gold that's going up, it's the weakness of the dollar that's causing it to look like it's going up. Same thing happened throughout our history. We used to have gold and silver, use it as money. Then they, said, well, we'll give you dollar bills or certificates of exchange. So where, you can take a $20 gold certificate and get $20 worth of gold, usually a gold coin. Same with the silver coins. You can take a silver certificate in, get you a silver coin. And then we said, we're not going to do the silver and gold certificates anymore. We're going to take those out. We'll still leave it in the money. Still leave it in some quarters, dimes, half dollars. But eventually they took it out of that in 1964. That's why I used that lesson of 1964. We had minimum wage of $1.25. $1.25 is 5 quarters. 5 quarters that are silver, which they were 90% silver then in 1964. If you had held them, they're worth like, I don't even know, what are they worth? 25 bucks or something, for that amount. Yeah, it's up like 23 times the face value of it. 23 times it's gone up. No, it just means the dollar has depreciated 23 times. That's what's happened. Got to get your head around that. When they can create unlimited money, print unlimited money, it's going to go into unlimited things and drive them to an unlimited price. That is what happens. Speaking of price, I was looking up something for my daughter last night. She goes to the University of Alabama, also known as the Atlanta Braves. She goes there, and there's some classes that she's just not good in. I was good in history. She's not that good in history. And I said, listen, this is some college advice for all of you out there. You're going to a 4-year school. Best advice is go to a community college first and get, 2 years worth of credits, because usually a 4-year institutional will allow you to transfer in like 64 hours of credit. Well, get your 64 hours of credit, gen ed credits, general education requirements at the community college. And guess what happens? You can get C's in all of them. They'll transfer to the 4-year university and the GPA won't count. And then you can take all the classes you want at the 4-year university and get the big GPA instead of the weight of all of those gen ed classes that you don't want to take anchoring you down. So anyway, what is happening is she needs to take a history class to fulfill a requirement. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't you come back during the summer, what do we have going on here? When you have summer break, they have an online class for the history class that, will transfer in for her. Get your 3 hours credit, If you get a C in it, who cares? It will still transfer in, and guess what? It doesn't affect your GPA at the University of Alabama. See? Sound advice, just saying, and it's a lot cheaper to take that class at a community college. There are a lot of hacks in life, and I wish people would follow them. I wish people would think about the future. Remember, Eckhart, you need to think about the future. Batman movie. No, the sheriff was sitting right there. He's still there. That was a different sheriff deputy. Talking on the phone here. We'll see if he pulls me over. I'm sorry, sir. Not really. All right, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. College, yeah, a good college tip for you. Community college, get the classes there, transfer them in without the GPA. Another word of advice, if for some reason you are compelled and drawn to go to the Litecoin Summit, May 29th and 30th in Las Vegas, I'm going. If you are compelled to do this, and you are going to fly, you know where I'm going with this, Paulie P. If you are going to fly, you need to have either a real ID license with a little star in the top right corner, which it's not difficult to get. You just have to prove who you are, and birth certificate. If you're married, get your marriage certificate because your name's different than on your birth certificate. Social security number, all those identifiers, those voluntary things that you do to opt into the corporate system. Yeah, that's what you need. That, or you can get a passport. You can use a passport. And a lot of people, they'll get passports that, are kind of like sovereign passports. And as long as the State Department or the government recognizes you as sovereign, says a lot, you know what I mean? But anyway, a passport will work if you have one. Now, the problem's going to be, you're probably not going to be able, there we go, switch the arrow out so it's in my face instead of my feet. Good Lord. I had this thing fixed, paid a bunch of money for it. It better be working. But yeah, you can use if you're going to get a passport, you're probably not going to get it in time right now, honestly. It's just, it's a slow process. It got really ground down during the whole COVID thing, and who knows now with the Doge enactments, if we've lost manpower to be able to make that happen on a timely basis, because you're looking at what? I don't know, a little over a month and a half. How many days is it? What is today? The 22nd, 8 plus 28, 29. 29 days, so 37 days, baby. 37 days to the Litecoin Summit. If you're on the Bitcoin conference, that's a couple days before that. But anyway, if you're going to fly, make sure you got your real ID, get your paperwork. You have to go to a secretary or a driver's license facility, Secretary of State's office, whatever it is, depends on your state. You're going to have to get it done, just letting you know. Do your own research. Get her done, baby. It just has to happen. If you're going to fly. So, yeah, one of the two. And a lot of people are out there, oh my God, the real ID is a digital identifier. Oh, it's going to put you into the matrix and the social credit scores and all that stuff. Listen, we already are digitally monitored all the effing time. What's going to take it to the next level is the money. Right now, they know exactly what you're doing all the time. Okay, so I went to last April, went to Oklahoma to visit the lovely Litecoin Lisa and her wonderful husband Charlie, and spent some time there. Took my oldest daughter. We flew back out of the Oklahoma, Roy Rogers Airport. Nice airport. Flew out of there. They didn't need, I think I just gave, I don't even know what I gave them. I don't know if I gave them my ID or just face scan. I don't know what it was. The whole thing was digital. All digital. Didn't even need my ticket. They already knew who I was. So it's already in place. I remember going, speaking of Vegas and casinos, I remember going, this had to be mid-2000s. I want to say 2000, might have been early 2000s, like right after 9/11, somewhere in that frame. Early 2000s, over 20 years ago, let's just say that. Over 20 years ago, going into the local casino, the Riverboat Casino, and I don't go to these places. I used to go, though, when it sailed. They had a sail, the cruise go all the time, like every 2 hours. You can get on for free. Drinks for free, even if you didn't gamble. Got my money's worth. because I don't gamble. I mean, once in a while I may just say, hey, you know, let's put it on put it on 4 on the blackjack table or something, you know, and roll it and see what happens. See, do you feel lucky, punk? You know, something like that. But it's like, you know, I got 20 bucks. This is all I'm spending. I'm either meant to win or I'm meant to lose, and that's how it is. I don't get my head in that space, you know, because there's a reason why the casinos are pretty and pretty big. So yeah, I remember going on there and doing that, you know, just hanging out. Most of my friends, you know, they'd get all excited and emotional, you know, and gamblers and jeez. I'm not into it. I'm just not into it. I like a sure bet. So, I don't know if there are any sure bets in Vegas though. Maybe I'll find one, I don't know, doubt it. Used to have those cheap buffets, you know, I don't know if I don't know if they have those anymore. You know, it seems like everything's expensive there. Just won't eat. Good thing I'm not eating now, right? Take some raw garlic and chew on that all day. I'll keep the vampires away. All right, so anyway, my point, going to the Riverboat Casino here locally, which you can go to if you come to my meetup on June 20th. Go to clintwestwood.net, click the big link at the top for all the details and show up. It's free. But yeah, you can stay at the Paradise Casino and have a good time if you want to. I know some people who are. They're going to do that. That's great. Not for me. So anyway, 20 years ago, I remember walking in there with some friends, and I'm like, look at the camera. I mean, they were face scanning then, and that's how they identify you. And so they have facial recognition cameras in the parking lots. Before you ever get to the frickin' door, they will stop you if you're banned. And I know people who've been banned, and they get stopped. I mean, you walk in there, you don't even need the ID anymore. You just walk in, and they face scan you because you are in the system. We've been in the system forever. We're in it. We're in the matrix. Everything is digital. And like I said, you know, so the real ID, doesn't matter. Driver's license did the same effing thing. Passport does the same thing. It doesn't matter. They've got you all locked up and tied in and algorithmed and matrixed. I mean, it is what it is. I just don't care. The key to all of this, though, to ushering in the true vampire control system, is to let them control your money. That's the key, because that is your energy in the digital world, digital money. That's why you need sound money for the digital age. It's why you need to look into Litecoin, because it's got privacy, optional privacy, on the layer 1. So there's no patents or contracts and all that stuff in the way. It's layer 1. Running on the base blockchain that thousands of computers are validating the code for. I mean, I can't express to you the importance of this. It's very important. It's usable, it's cheap, under a penny. You can send $10 million under a penny in Litecoin. Hold it in your own possession. Send it privately. Mimble wimble, baby. No stopping it. Has everything. Everything you want. Scarcity, scarce supply. Only 4 times as many as Bitcoin. Bitcoin's $90,000. So, you know, we should be sitting at what? $20,000? $22,500? You know, that's what it should be. $22,500 for Litecoin. Because it's 4 times as many. It should be a quarter of the price. No, that's not the case. It's $80 for the utility that it offers. At some point, the world wakes up. And you know what? You're going to be chasing it just like you're trying to chase gold right now. And you got to ask yourself, well, why are you chasing gold? Why are you looking at it now when you should have looked at it later? How is it going to change your life right now by having it? I mean, it's a great asset to have long term. I mean, it is money. It will outlast any government. You can divide it. You know, it's not going to lose its properties. You know, it's got a lot of good things going for it. But if we're living in a digital age, listen, if we get back to that point where we have to trade gold and silver, we're going to be trading chickens, eggs, vegetables, love, all the stuff, all the things. That's what we're going to be doing. I mean, because it's going to be a one-on-one, more engaged, community level relationship that we have with each other. I mean, you're probably not going to be transporting a lot of goods because things have collapsed and fallen apart. So I don't know how useful it's really going to be. It's going to be, what do you need today? If it gets to that point. And if it doesn't get to that point and we stay digital and we go full high tech and we go, you know, into the stars, you know, whatever. I got my thoughts about that. But let's say we become very, very high tech here on this planet. We need money that's efficient. Things don't work with money that's inefficient. We cannot have high technology. We cannot have devices communicating with each other and paying each other and sending energy to each other and validating things without efficiency, efficient money. So, I mean, you got to look at the utilitarian side of things. What's going to work going forward? You know, if it's going to be dark ages, then better be building communities, and, you know, we're more worried about the floods, you know, every year and food production. That's what's going to matter. Storing seeds, you know, and having the workforce to plant those seeds and harvest that stuff. That's going to be more important, I think. And having, you know, being able to make babies, you know, and survive as a species. Really not worried about gold, silver at that point. You know, unless they have, you know, magical qualities and, you know, mystical things, which I think they do. But as far as money, I don't know. It's meh. But yeah, if we're going full digital, then man, we gotta have digital money, and what's better than sound money for the digital age, Litecoin. Definitely need to look into that. I am just saying. All right, I'm pulling in. Man, I should mow the grass today. I might mow it tomorrow. Peel the shirt off and get some sun. Worship that sun. All right, so yeah, definitely get your real ID, whatever you take, whatever, you know, whatever. You're already in the matrix, okay? It's just how you act and how you operate. And if you're using the banking system and using their cash, you know what? You're in the matrix. If you've got funds locked up in dollars that they control, you're in the matrix. You're already digitally effed. You know, the real ID is not going to change that. It's not going to make a lick of difference. Because you're not going to be able to travel anyway if they control your money. It doesn't matter at that point. It just doesn't matter. If you don't have control of your money, then you got no energy to do a thing. So really need to look at some sound. I mean, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Digibyte, Vertcoin, saying, you know, Dogecoin, all these proof of work coins, especially if they have a finite supply, dude, man. Position yourself now so you're not chasing it like you do gold. That's all I'm saying. You know, just think about the future, Eckhart. Jack Nicholson. Love it. All right. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Love you all. Hope to see you in Vegas. Still don't have my plans set. Doesn't matter. I'm there. All right. I'm going to be there. I'm definitely coming in, I think, Wednesday night. And then I don't know when I'm leaving. We'll see. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm thinking. Where am I staying? What difference at this point does it make? There's a few people I could crash with. I know that. But like I said, you know, I think my buddy's coming up from Phoenix, and that'll be cool. I think he's got some kind of point somewhere. I don't know. Figure it out. He travels. Give me a nice free stay. Sleep on the couch. Who knows? Who cares? I don't care. All right. Yeah, looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. It's coming up. 37 days. Be here before you know it. We're really going to love it. All right. Love you all. Have a wonderful day. Trust yourselves. If we're going digital, look into Litecoin. Do some research on that. Absolutely do that. And trust yourself. Trust your instincts. Trust your gut. That's an important thing to have. Discernment and intuition. Going to need it. All right. Have a wonderful Tuesday.